feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no way.
We're back to the tweets. Okay. Actually, give me 1 second. I gotta go get some tea. I ain't gonna hold you. My voice started to crack. Hold up.
Like a hooker, right? I mean, a hooker is not being trafficked because they're choosing to engage in it. So if that's what she's choosing to do, and she's sort of playing this hooker slash girlfriend type of role, well, in that case, that's something. People are allowed to prostitute themselves without the pimp necessarily being considered that they're sex trafficking. It only becomes sex trafficking once they are forcing the person to act against their will. And that's why, for me, the financial leverage that he had over her, or may have had over her, I don't think that it makes us cross into 18 U.S.C. 1591. But still, I think it's possible to get there. I think it's very fair to argue with Cassie that once he starts trying to blackmail her, which, if you believe Cassie, that he was threatening he's going to release videos of her freak-offs, and that he's going to share it with her mother and share it with the world, and she's even documenting that she's being threatened, and he's showing it on a plane. To me, this can draw a conclusion that he's intentionally trying to make her feel like she has no way out of this. And she said that she was expressing years earlier, how do you get out of this situation? If you can't get out of the situation, that's when, and he knows that he's not letting you out of the situation, that's where I think you cross over. Even if Cassie, let's say theoretically, started as a gold digger, she may have. A lot of people, I'm sure, believe that about her. I have no reason to think that's true. But even if that's 100% true, at a certain point, you can see how we can cross over between the blackmail and also the physical abuse that's been documented that he engaged in against Cassie, and documented and testified to. That all can help take someone who might start the relationship as a gold-digging girlfriend. Give me a moment. That they may start as some type of gold-digging girlfriend, but at a certain point, if they can't get out, and he knows I'm not letting you get out, in that case we can cross over into a zone where that gold-digging girlfriend is now being trafficked. They're being forced to act against their will. In contrast, what we hear from Jane is that Jane seems to, there's no incident where she's being blackmailed and said, do this or else, and you have to go engage in this type of sexual activity or else. We've never heard about an or else. The closest thing we've had to an or else is that she felt that if she did this, and at one point he's like, okay, if you don't want to be my girlfriend, I'm going to stop paying your rent. If you want to claim that falls up, that rises to a level of control, okay. I'll tell you right now, very few people in the viewing room I'm in think that this is a situation where indeed she was trafficked. In fact, we actually see multiple instances where Jane is using the ability to dangle this carrot in front of Diddy in order to help draw him in closer. We saw on Valentine's Day that she's like, I
agree on that one. I agree.
I'll perform for you with 2 guys. That's her using it as a carrot, saying, don't go with one of your other girlfriends, hang out with me on Valentine's Day. She testified today, and then she reaffirmed what she had said on Direct, which is that he did this beautiful romantic birthday for her in 2024. And it made her feel so happy and so thrilled. This is after they reconciled and got back together. That she felt so happy that, you know, they had this birthday party through the night. It was so romantic, everything she always wanted, and she felt that Diddy deserved a hotel night. So they called up Don and she performed with Don. To me, this comes across as if she's using it as a way of rewarding him. That means that she seems to have control and decision-making power here. And if she has that control and decision-making power, we don't need to sit there analyzing, did she start off as a gold digger, was she not a gold digger? At the end of the day, she has power, she's not being trafficked. That makes her very different from your typical victim of being trafficked. But I need to get to the point here where I want to talk about the government cover-up, which was gross and disturbing, and I'm going to, because they worked so hard to cover it up, I'm going to speculate as to what it was that they were trying to cover up. When they were talking about the break that they had, which went from like sometime in late November or, through the end of the year and into January of 2024, she testified that at a certain point in January, she got an invitation from a rapper to go on a trip to Las Vegas. So she's like, cool, let's go. He said you can bring a couple of your friends. I'm pretty sure she took a couple of friends with her. I'm not positive about that part. But she decided, okay, I'm going to go. When she goes there, she bumps into Anton. Now, Anton is one of the performers or entertainers who she had engaged with on multiple occasions with Diddy. So she knew Anton through that. When she bumps into him at this party, and this party, which is in January of 2024, was being thrown by this rapper for his wife or girlfriend, and they kept referring to her as wife or girlfriend. Now they sort of like glom past that whole part of it, and it was only on cross-examination today that it became evident just how hard the state and the court, and even the defense seems to be going along with it, how hard everyone in this courtroom is working to make sure that we never find out who this rapper is. What they did was they showed a video of the rapper at the party that she was at, and they said, we're going to mute the sound here so that no one can hear the sound. And when she's questioning Jane, she says, so this is a rapper, right? And he's a friend of Jay-Z, right? Yes. And he's not just a rapper, he's one of the biggest names in the industry, isn't he? Yes. He's a cultural icon, isn't he? Yes. And this was a party he was making for his wife/girlfriend. Yes. And then after they went from the party, they go up to this rapper's room, and she follows up to the room. And in the room, she sees Anton performing with a woman. They don't tell us which woman it is. And what's everyone in the audience doing there? Oh, they're all standing around watching this couple engaging in sex. So that's what she and this rapper and this rapper's wife/girlfriend were watching Anton perform. They never told us who the woman was that was performing. I don't know if that's our business. I have no reason to speculate as to who in particular it was. However, what I'll be clear with you about is this. They definitely didn't want us to know who the rapper was. And furthermore, she said that she ended up referring, this is what she shared with us on Cross today, that she ended up sharing the name Cabral. Now, Cabral is another entertainer performer. And she said that she told them about Cabral when they were asking her if she knew anyone else in the lifestyle being a reference to this explicit sexual activity. So now we have this rapper who's basically asking her, hey, you know any other performers who would be really good to enjoy for us to hire to bring on in here? So she offered the name Cabral. Tenny Garagos asked Jane, why did they ask you? What made them ask you? That think that you would know someone? You know, the whole time we're hearing about how secret this is. So she said, well, maybe I seemed comfortable with what was happening there, or maybe it's possible that they know a little bit about what Diddy is into. So this is someone who's close enough with Diddy that they know what he's into, and they figure that she would be able to perform something. By the way, something else she mentioned, which the defense brought out to help take away some of the shine and veneer of refinery around Jane, is that they had her admit that she flashed the audience at one point there. Like she was just having a good time, so she decided to flash the audience. And perhaps that's what led them to believe that she was very comfortable with the situation. I don't know. She hasn't testified to that causal link specifically. But the interesting thing is here, when they're talking about this, it was very obvious that there was a paramount objective that they do not possibly let the jury, anyone outside the jury, know who this rapper was. And it was so contorted. They're bending over backwards, making sure we can't even hear the guy's voice because they're worried that people in the audience will recognize his voice. So they turned off all the volume. They said, we're just going to show you a video of you and this rapper at the party and just confirm that, yeah, that this is this guy. Also that this rapper flirted with her and there's other stuff. Bottom line is this. The way they were bending over so hard to protect them, my first thought was, they're referring to him as an icon in the industry. My first thought, I was speculating, is that it was Jay-Z. However, that doesn't fit with the information we have. The reason it doesn't fit with the information we have is because the birthday party they were going to celebrate was for the rapper's wife/girlfriend, wife and or girlfriend, and it's not clear whether they were using the term wife or girlfriend because this is a woman who takes both roles, or because they're trying to keep it that veiled that we shouldn't know whether or not this rapper is married. But I checked up as to when Beyonce's birthday is, and her birthday is in September. So even though I thought that Jay-Z would fit as far as being the potential answer to whom this may be, it doesn't work when you know that she's there for the rapper's wife girlfriend's birthday in January. And when I was having this conversation with other journalists who were all trying to speculate about this, someone pointed out that Kanye is good friends with Diddy, and that his wife/girlfriend, I'm not sure what status she has, I think that status might change back and forth, I'm not sure, but that her birthday is January 5th. So I don't know who the rapper is. I have no idea. I'm just other than the clues that we've gotten so far. So anyone who's saying they know definitively is probably exaggerating. I would surmise. But I'm saying is this is the reason that had people in the audience here who were all speculating, and this is not a factual assertion at all. This is purely opinion and speculation based on what we have. But it's very bothersome that the state worked so hard to make sure we shouldn't know who this person is. Like, what is the point? It's supposed to be open court. And the court seems to go along with this. The court seems to be accepting of this and saying, oh yeah, it's sure for you to do this. And compelling, seemingly, the defense to make sure that they don't give any clues that would provide insight as to who this rapper is. What is the reason for this? Why is this being hidden from us? The court is supposed to be a matter of public record, and it's very, very bothersome to see that the state, and in particular this district attorney who has been accused and has revealed indications.
There's no district attorney, there's AUSAs. I got some tea, Chad. Just give me a second.
That they bend over backwards to protect celebrities and politicians and other folks like that, yet again is engaging in conduct which just makes you scratch your head as to why is it that this is information that has to be shrouded in secrecy from the public writ large. There's nothing embarrassing about what's happening here. There's nothing illegal. There's no, so we're forced to speculate now, and I feel bad speculating, but I have to tell you what the talk around the courtroom is in order to give you a vibe for this trial is going. The final point I'll make here is the vibe is that the chances of getting a conviction based on what we've heard from Jane are very slim. I struggle to find any.
Wow, that's big. A litigator who works in that court is saying if Jane is the star witness for the prosecutor, and I, at first, when she just took the stand, after the day 2 of her testimony, I said, yo, she might be the one. She might be the one. Not story-wise, but legally. They have broke down what they pretty much have now painted her as a bougie bitch that fucks for money. That know damn well what she's into. She wasn't some young girl that got introduced and forced into a lifestyle like how Cassie portrays. She not only does this stuff outside of Diddy, she ain't really, she enjoy her time with Diddy, but she ain't doing the most. She would go to these sex parties even when Diddy wasn't there. That's big. even when Diddy wasn't there, she was going to these sex parties. She's 35 when she met him. She can't be like, oh, no, I didn't know. Interesting.
One here who thinks that she's properly classified as being trafficked, and if that's the vibe that I'm getting from the non-jurors, the limited audience who's watching this, I have to think that many people in the jury are reaching similar conclusions, and that the state is going to struggle to actually get a conviction on that third charge under 18 U.S.C. 1591.
Remember, there's a charge for her. There's a sex trafficking charge outside the RICO that says there's one of them for Cassie, one for Jane Doe. Jane Doe is victim 2. According to this guy, and I can't get a read on him. We know Unc fucks with Diddy. When Unc gets on there, Unc fucks with Diddy. Him, I can't tell if he's too woke that he's like, no, Diddy should go to jail, or he's like, I'm just calling it down the middle. I think he's a call it down the middle type of guy. According to him, that sex trafficking charge that's only for Jane Doe, he said that shit, it looks crazy. We listening to this girl. She don't sound like she's sex trafficked. Big W for Diddy, if that's true. We're going off their personal opinion. Chad, I got some new tea here. Don't worry. Pause. Am I the only one I like? You know that sound you do? All right, never mind. Pause that. That sounds mad gay. I can't even say it. All right, let's go. I'm going to try. Come on. So, remember, Daphne had said, yo, what is it, bro? Is the other girls pressuring you more for these trips? Because I want the trips too, and I don't get it. Where did I go wrong? Combs said, that's my friend. They start playing some other shit. Remember, it says, yo, you said we broke up. I went to that one birthday party. So she's saying, why are you mad that I went to that party? I didn't go to a Freakoff. I went to a party. It's a birthday party. I know, not with the rapper. I ain't go to the party with the rapper. I went with my friend. So essentially, you have Daphne saying, my friend she has a girlfriend that gets invited to parties where people get fucked in the middle of the room. Wow. Chat, I'm going to investigate this shit like it's Tupac and Biggie's murder. I'm going to tell you everybody who's doing these freak shit. Trust. It's my new mission in life. Trust me. Gargo says, you wrote, I don't even have anything postable. Did you mean Instagram? Jane says, yes, I did. Gargo says, you wrote about your child's father. You said I'm in my late 30s. I don't have time. They play some video. There's no sound. Nobody can hear it. Gargo says the last part. I guess it's a voice note. I don't know. The last part. Is that about your child's father? Jane says, yeah. Gargo says, you wrote, I just want to travel with you. Jane says, yes. Gargo says, you sent the clown emoji and said, if I fucked more, maybe I could have went on trips, huh? So she called Diddy a clown. You a clown, nigga. One in the chat, if you know you ain't in no real relationship if your girlfriend never calls you a clown. That's a fact. The clown emoji, yeah. You a clown. I ain't gonna lie. That's normal talk. You getting a beef with your chick, man, you a clown. You keep liking all these bitches' posts. Man, these bitches don't even want you. You a clown. That's how it works, okay. Gargo says, then you went to Miami. You stayed in the Four Seasons. You chose the hotel, right? I chose it. Did you took drugs and you laughed and danced? She said, yeah, I did. Looked like Diddy had brought her there. Remember, he gave her the birthday experience. You were finally getting the princess treatment you wanted. Yes. Yes, she's excited now. Then you told Diddy that so you brought it up. Remember, she admitted this earlier. She said, yeah, my birthday was so good, I told him, you could bring a sex worker up here. So Diddy gave you what you wanted, and you said to him, I ain't fuck Paul in a minute. Tell Paul to come through. Jane said, yeah, well, I took some ecstasy, but I did miss Paul. Yup. Garrigo says, you called Paul, he came in a few days. Did he? No, did he? Yeah, he did. Oh, fuck. You were at Star Island. Damn, my voice is struggling. I'm going to get through it. Don't worry. She says, yes. It felt good, right? It was a love fest. She said, God damn it did. Garrigo says, on June 1st of this year, June 1st of this year, June 1st this year, you had a new memory. You had a memory of Diddy splashing water on you, right? So June 1st, she must have met with the government right before her testimony. And she said, oh shit, I forgot something. I never told y'all this. Let me tell you something. Jane says, if I may explain, Garrigo says, I'm just asking, did you tell the government that on June 1st for the very first time? She says yes. Garrigo says, why did you call yourself Kobe, Shaq, and Jordan? Why did you do that? Why are you Kobe? Jane says, because I'm the fucking best. Why you call Diddy Jordan? Because he's the best too. Garrigo's, Jesus Christ. Yo, the government fucked up. This bitch is comparing her in Freakoffs to legendary basketball players. You're bringing Larry Bird. That's Larry Bird. That's Reggie Miller. Holy. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is crazy. She was telling Diddy, we're like Kobe, Shaq, and Jordan. I'm Kobe. She basically saying, think about the dynamic. Anybody know basketball? I know y'all know basketball. She's saying, Diddy, you the GOAT. Jordan, you the GOAT. Me, I'm emulating you. That's what people know Kobe to be. He modeled his game after Jordan. But he's a GOAT too. He's one of the greatest. So he's saying, Diddy, you're the GOAT. You're the best ever. Me, I modeled my shit after you. So I'm a baby GOAT. I'm Kobe. We trying to figure out who Shaq is. Because we talking about Shaq in 2000 or Shaq on the Celtics. This is, one of them ones? Yeah. And is this about Pamela Anderson? Melons? I guess they laugh about titties, I guess. What did you say? I wrote, you definitely are my Michael Jordan. I'm your Kobe. Let's do a detox weekend. This is a freak. This is a freak. Garrigo says, did you say, good morning, handsome? And he said, can you please find a therapist? Jane says, yes, we loved each other a lot. But holy, there was some toxic shit. Garrigo says, but it ended on a positive note, right? Jane said, yes, it did. No further questions. We've done expose this chick, the freak of the week. She's doing freak-offs with other men, other rappers. And if y'all not arresting those other rappers, why is Diddy in cuffs? So you're saying, this is a really important point. So you're saying she got sex trafficked by Diddy, but she showed up to freak-offs for other men willingly. Really? How that make sense? How that make sense? Is it because he put hands on her once or twice? Because that's some relationship shit. That's some domestic violence. That's not him beating her into doing it. Actually, it appears that she would suggest she wanted to do it all the time. They asked for a redirect. Comey, you want to come back up here and talk to this chick? Because she blowing up y'all case. Sidebar. Sidebar. Judge says yes. They do a sidebar chat. They come back. Said, jurors, you may have a comfort break. Avoid the white noise. Because in the sidebar, they play white noise. They're playing this in the whole courtroom. That's what they're playing. They cut the mics. They play this over everything, and they basically remember the speakers are there. So now everybody comes in front of the speakers. They're talking without the mics. That's what's happening. Sidebar. That's the sidebar white noise. So nobody can hear what they're talking about. The jury leaves. Comey now addresses the judge. Remember, once the jury leaves, this is not on the record as in the jury being there. And this is where most things get argued about if they could present it in front of the jury. Comey says the cross argued that this witness had a motive to lie. Chat. That motive is who determines you got immunity, right? That's what they asked her. She said yes. They said, what does that mean? That means I got to tell the truth. They said, who determines if you tell the truth? She says, I guess the people who gave me immunity, the government. So the government is now coming to say they argued that this witness has a motive to lie. It opens the door to that one sentence I've been asking for as to prior consistent statement. What's happening right now? We can read through it. I know y'all smart, so you get it too. The AUSA been pushing, Judge, why can't we use her notes? If they're opening a door to she has a motive to lie, we want to introduce her notes to say, how could she just be lying conveniently now because she has a motive when she been putting this in her notes for years? She been putting this in her notes. Yeah, I don't want to do this with Diddy no more. This is whack. This is not cool. We have prior consistent statements that we could elicit from her notes. Diddy and his team said, nah, that shouldn't be admissible. We don't know when she wrote it. We don't know her state of mind. And some of that shit is attorney-client privilege because she wrote a lot when she found out some shit that was attorney-client privilege. The judge hasn't admitted yet, but now the judge is going to rule. How does this go to an event months later? So they're saying the stuff you're trying to bring in isn't including the stuff that she was just questioning on, which happened months later. Comey said, it's on their point that Jane is shading her testimony to correspond with the government's theory that she was coerced by the government. Comey said Jane testified on the stand for days after getting immunity. She ain't trying to get a payday. Why would y'all accuse her of lying? But they might think she's trying to shade her testimony to please the prosecutor. Driscoll says, that's all hearsay. They have a fringe theory. The judge says, Comey, how long do you anticipate your redirect? She says, half an hour. Judge said, let's take a break first. Shapiro says, Your Honor, may I? The judge walks off. They take a break. They come back. They're back. The judge said, defense, in what way did Jane's lawsuit constitute the type of influence, as in Tome versus United States? Ooh, so there's a lawsuit there. Let's look at what Tome versus United States is. There was... Is it civil? Is there anything about civil here? Okay. We'll get into what this is. Driscoll says, I hear what the AUSA is saying, that she's not seeking monetary compensation at this time, and she told on the stand that she... that's what that probably means. She said on the stand, I'm not going to file a lawsuit. That doesn't mean she can't. That don't mean she can't, chat. So her statements her statements that are used could still be used in a lawsuit. She could still file it. Just as the application to admit the exhibit we have been discussing is denied. So it looks like they're denying the use of her notes in her iPhone. The government has not brought forward any authority on this. Jane enters and a jury file in. G101, page 6 and 7. Pull them up. Can we zoom in? Could you tell us what Sean wrote to Paul here? He wrote, I'm gonna need you to persuade you. AUSA says, have you seen this before? She said no. Comey says, what did you write to Paul about Turks? I wrote, I'm not a robot. Just a mix of tired, hungry, and you know that pussy's sore. AUSA says, next. Jane says, to insult me about the bracelet, to make me perform, it crushed me. AUSA says, what else did you write? In that room, I felt like a hoe. AUSA Comey says, what'd you write after that? Jane said, I wrote about the love contract. He's so good to shower me with affection, with violating sex exploitation in between. I could compartmentalize the bad stuff. AUSA says in May 2021, did you ask him to use a condom? Or give the sex worker a condom, actually? She said, yes. Sean resisted, but he finally gave in. Comey says, but the next time, what about that one? Jane said he mocked him. Did Sean let him use a condom? Yeah. Did you ever want to have sex with Cabral? She said no. Did you fake orgasms with these entertainers? She says yes. I was putting on a show for Sean P. Diddy Combs. Holy. 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 Waiting for some more tweets. We're all caught up. But then the next time, okay, we read this. Let's put on a show for Sean. Wow. Give me 1 second. What's happening in another court simultaneously? R. Kelly is in court.
Long before the walls closed in on P. Diddy, another pop music megastar was charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, among other things. And he was convicted 2 times. R. Kelly has spent the last 3 years, almost to the day, in a medium security federal prison in Butner, North Carolina. His 2022 trial in Brooklyn ended with a sentence of 30 years. His 2023 trial in Chicago got him 20 years as well. And they're supposed to run mostly at the same time. But now R. Kelly wants out. And he says his life depends on it. He says that every minute he spends locked up at Butner, he is in danger.
What?
And why? The way his lawyers tell it, prison officials want R. Kelly dead.
Really?
You heard me. The government, they say, has put a target on the singer in prison. And what's more, Kelly's lawyers say the Bureau of Prisons conspired with one of his fellow inmates, a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, to murder him. I'm joined now by Bo Brindley, attorney for R. Kelly. Mr. Brindley, I'm so glad to have you on this show. Thanks so much for being a guest. I mean, what I just read, what I just said, it just all sounds very fantastical. Do you have proof?
Well, the answer is we do have proof, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about it. In terms of proof, the most powerful piece of proof I can provide is the sworn statement of the man who says that he was solicited to kill R. Kelly. Michael Glenn Stein has provided us with a full declaration signed, and he's given his willingness to sit down for a polygraph examination.
Okay, so some guy is saying the jail officials want to kill Kelly. He's trying to use that to get out. Don't know if that'll work. Here we go, though.
All right, welcome back. It was all normal. It was a typical relationship, right? And that he was trying to get Combs to reach out to her. And he's already been accused of trying to...
Oh, here we go. This is
Right. This is the only physical fight that I could say. Everything else was basically taken care of because of who I was and when I stepped to the person.
Should have some more tweets here, people. Let's go. Yo, this tea work wonders. My voice will be going out, and it comes back just off tea. It's just crazy. All right. Comey says, but then the next time he say he mocked me. Did Sean let you use a condom? Yeah. Did you want to have sex with Cabral? Nah. You faked an orgasm? Yeah. But I was putting on a show for Sean. When did Sean threaten to release a video of you? 2023. I called KK. Sean's drug use. So this is after he got sued. AUSA says, Sean's drug use. How did you send cues you were tired? I'd make little faces. I'd sigh like, how did Sean respond? Push through. One more round. How did you try to avoid setting up hotel nights? I try to navigate the night to something else. Comey said, how many times did you have hotel nights in 200 Mapleton? I guess that's at her house. She says, no, that's not her house. Once, 2-star. That's 2-star island. 3 times, 1-star island. 1 or 2 times. I think 200 Mapleton might be her house. Jane says, I felt it was unfair, all the pressure. So what do you mean? Those nights with other men. She's crying again. I was asking, why do I got to break my boundaries and you still treat me like this? AUSA says, what's this text? It's the all-star fantasy play. This nigga drew up a play, bro. It's like 3 seconds on the clock. Golden State down by 3. They're inbounding it from the hash. You got to get, we're going to set a double screen. Curry going to run off a screen around the corners. There's a pin down. He going to catch the ball, one dribble, fade away, and he going to knock down a 3. We're going to overtime. They had a all-star fantasy play. This has never been seen before. Diddy's a demon. The all-star Freakoff play write-up. Jesus Christ. Holy. What did you send Sean? I told him, I sent him a picture of my bloody tampon. What did you write? I got childcare. And said, you pick. Then everything went left. I said, I just got my period. I just handled the first school week. She's saying she's stressed and she's on her period. Holy. Diddy don't give a fuck. Diddy one of them niggas who believe a period don't stop nothing but a sentence. A period don't stop nothing but a sentence. Diddy was saying, nah, it's still Freakoff time. Stop the fucking playing. Cut the malarkey. Holy. Let's see how he gave it up. He said in 2023, did you become more vocal about wanting to stop? Yeah, I did. But he started paying my rent. I had to maintain my livelihood. But my partner was in charge now. By a sobriety party, how many times did he threaten your rent? Many fucking times. Many times. Holy. Jesus. Jesus. Wow. Roger Bonds look like he's not taking a stand. Look at this. It's crazy. They done turn Cassie's pussy into a goddamn meme. How was the pussy? I'm not asking that, but that's what Cam asked, and that shit was hilarious.
Well, I have to repeat what Cameron asked you. How's the pussy?
And I got to repeat what Cameron told me. So that day specifically. Dude, I was petrified, bro. I couldn't feel anything. I could not. Dude, that day, I went down to some
sex shop in the village, and I got some 2,000 milligram pill called Trio Power Zen. You know, bro, I couldn't feel a thing, man. I couldn't feel a thing. I was really over medicated, just trying to have an erection, and that kills any sensation that I could feel. I was really numbed out. So,
but if you orgasm, you are obviously feeling a pleasurable act.
Every orgasm I had to manually.
Oh, really?
Out. Yeah.
So you never actually like.
I never actually.
I'm about to come and pull out
never.
And bust. Oh.
Every single time
okay.
we would stop, whatever the sexual was, and it was like. That's how I told you it was almost like mandatory because it wasn't in the normal flow.
Aha.
It was finish the sex part and then I would have to rub one out. And it was like a concentrated, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta get, it was like that.
Okay. And this whole time, you're not talking to Diddy at all, ever?
Never had one word of communication.
Was it still 2,000 every time, or would the numbers go up?
It would. Sometimes it would be 12, sometimes it'd be 2,000. I don't know specifically why the number would vary. Mm-hmm. I initially went there for a $200 party, so I'm not negotiating, right? It's still $1,200 is still way more than I originally charged. So I kind of just showed up, and whatever she handed me at the end of the night is what I took.
Okay. And you said that sometimes these sessions would last multiple days?
Not the sessions would last multiple days, but I would get called every few months. But that when I am called, it could be like, come Friday night, leave, come back Saturday night, leave, come back Sunday night.
Okay, so multiple days, but you would leave, come back.
So let's say the sessions itself, the sex was always under an hour. But I could be there 4 or 5 hours because it was a lot of waiting around time. A lot of just, I'm here, and it's always these huge, huge suites. So I'm like in a room somewhere, I don't know where they're at. And then she'll just come get me at some point in the wee hours of the morning.
Were there drugs involved?
I never seen any outward drugs. Just on a cordial scenario, every time I would come in, she would offer me a drink. She usually would have what I think is weed. I'm not necessarily a weed smoker, and she would offer. I'm not a weed. So like I said, I'm not a weed smoker. I think one time I just trying to fit in, I might have took a puff, but nothing to get me under the influence, but I did not see any drug use.
This guy's a straight shooter, man. I actually believe everything he says. Chat, we're getting some information. Somebody said, we done decoded who Bear is. Bear, the nigga who sent her 9,000, who Diddy said, don't ever belittle me when you're dealing with niggas like Bear. Somebody's telling me, well, I need this page for later. Somebody's telling me that Bear might be Jason Derulo. Might be Jason Derulo, y'all. Oh, Sean G's back out? Okay, cool. We'll look at his shit in a second. So Jason Derulo, they say if you go to his YouTube page, just click on his YouTube page. You go to videos, all you got to search is Bear. You search Bear, and the nigga got a lot of things that have to do with Bear. And I don't know if this is actual factual, but let me see. Bear. Is this Bear? Pause. Now, what does it got to do? What the fuck? That's an actual bear. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me they give me bad information now. They say you got a video. Oh, it's on his TikTok. They said he loves bears. Let me see. Apparently he loves bears. Jason Derulo, pop in, check in. Is this Bear?
But what we?
They said that's not it. They said stay on the TikTok. This nigga love bears. TikTok. The time I got kissed by a bear. Jason Derulo. Holy. Here we go. Oh, no, it's the same video. What the fuck? Oh, he just posted a video twice. But I will say, this was posted right around the time she met him. Met Diddy. So this might have been the ex. Was Jason Derulo with her? Jason Derulo. What's her name? Daphne Joy. Holy shit. Bumbleclot. They split 6 months in. Jason Derulo, Daphne Joy. Let's Google it. Look, let's look at their compilation. Maybe this is Bear. Let's figure it out, chat.
And I don't know why.
Here we go. Hey. Hey.
Weird. And I don't know. So, random fact, Jason thinks I'm really weird. And I don't know why. I think I'm amazing.
Yeah, you're a fucking smut. Of course you're weird. Of course you're fucking weird. Give me a second.
You guys, it's so cold in LA. I was supposed to go get high.
Is that... We want to see some shit with her and London Bound.
Let's see my boobs. I can never grasp the concept of the steering wheel on the right side. Like, I could never. I can't even parallel park.
Keep watching, chat. We're going to figure it out. We'll figure it out. Comfort Essentials. We're going to figure this out. I think that's Jason Derulo shit. Okay. Seriously, why are you so handsome?
Seriously, he's so handsome. I can't even fucking take it.
So I think I found my girl. Take that. Yeah. I feel like we should teach him something that you made up.
But
He's literally
choreographing thousands of people.
Hey, turn the music on. Dave London is ready. Hey, we got one more shot at this. We gotta make sure it's good. We gotta
Some beauty and glam. Thank you. Thank you. Having a great time with our friends.
We just doing everything.
Everyone's speaking French, but Mama Derulo's shoes are always on fleek.
Paris.
Okay. Guess who? No more bad.
Are you sick of me yet?
Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
I've been making him run around for me. Oh, he's so sweet. Follow him. Hey, Mommy Derulo. What'd you think about the show?
It was awesome. It was amazing.
You had amazing energy. You were dancing.
Yes, I
feel so proud of your baby.
I am so very proud of my son. He amazed me, and
Jason gets all of his amazing talent and kind heart from you. I see it here in you guys, but seriously, Mommy Derulo's shoe game though? What?
Let me just Google it. Jason Derulo, Bear, Daphne Joy. Okay, let's get to the tweets. Look like court might have wrapped. What time is it? Why are they rapping so early? It's 4 o'clock, I guess. Comey says, yo, that time after you threw up, what did Sean do? He told me to go back out there and have sex with another man. AUSA says, was Sean affectionate with you when Anton was in your home? Jane says, no, Sean was evil. Y'all understand why, though, right? Diddy feels like she and Anton is sharing other freak-offs together. They're not exclusive to his freak-off. They got another freak-off home, right? When Sean say he gave you an ecstasy pill, what did he say when he gave you the pill? He said, you're not about to ruin my night. Go suck some dick. Go fuck him. Something. How long before he had put you in a chokehold? Objection. They sustained. Did he choke you with his hand or his arm? Arm. In the shower, how hard did he hit you? So hard. Then what did he say? Get in a fucking outfit.
Goes after all of it. Jane.
Why is Unc already streaming if the court's not over?
If I become emotional, because this case, it kicks up so many memories in me of my own federal case.
Okay.
And that Tanny Garagos pulled up on her cross-examination, and she's just gonna rehash what's already been said. So I left. Now, there was a big argument. There was a big argument between Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey and Donaldson, who is one of the attorneys for Puffy, because the prosecution wants to enter into evidence some statements that Jane Doe made after Cassie filed her lawsuit. This has been a real contentious point. 59 thumbs up. I need 100. Put me on 100. Assistant U.S.
By the way, Unc said he left court early. Okay? So he left court early, which means, he said he left court early because the AUSA is rehashing what's going on. So we're going to see if they are. Comey says, when you hit for 2 hours, could Sean have left safely? Jane says, yeah. Did you want to have sex with Anton that night? No. Who made you? Sean. Who would you give all the money back to have sex with no other men? Yes. By the way, they've ended about 3 or 4 redirects with that question. Would you give the money back? Whether it was a settlement from Cassie, whether it was Mia and her settlement for some of the work compensation, would you give the money back if you could keep your innocence and not have to do or go through what Diddy put you through? Everybody has said yes. They usually drop mic on that. Let's see what the next tweet is. AUSA says, well, why are you here? I got a subpoena. I'm here. No further questions. We're good. Recross. Garagos. Did you ever drive to pick up Anton? Yes. Could you have left? Whoa. Why it says AUSA? Whoa, pause. Huh? I think it meant Garagos right here. Garagos says, did you ever pick up Anton? You drove. Yes. Could you have left? Yes. I think this is supposed to be Garagos. Okay.
The prosecution, Assistant U.S. Attorney Comey, wants to enter into evidence a statement Jane Doe made about abuse and being forced and being coerced and being trafficked after Cassie filed a lawsuit. Puffy's lawyer, Donaldson, argues that this statement cannot and should not be allowed to be entered into evidence because Jane Doe has a motive to fabricate or lie in whatever she says after Cassie files a lawsuit, because she knows Cassie filed a lawsuit, Cassie got a settlement. Also, she has been given immunity from prosecution by the prosecution, and the prosecution is the only person that judges whether her testimony is true or lies. And she is already a witness for the prosecution. So, those being the facts, that statement should not be allowed. That evidence should not be allowed. Give the video a thumbs up. I got 300 of y'all in here. I only got 81 thumbs up. So, Ms. Comey comes back and says, okay, you don't gotta put the whole text message in. Oh no, it was one of her notes. It was one of Jane Doe's diary notes to herself in her phone. You understand? The prosecution says, okay, you don't got to put the whole note in there, but just put this one line in there, out of the note, where Jane Doe says she was trafficked, coerced, and forced. Donaldson, Puffy's lawyer, jumps up and says, nah, none of that should be in there. So they started arguing about this morning. And they just got finished arguing about it now. And the judge, Puffy's lawyer, jumped up. He cited case law. He brought up prior cases, Supreme Court cases, federal court cases, showing that this statement and this evidence should be inadmissible. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey jumps up. She's stating her case. They going back and forth. The judge say, well, let me check this out. Let's take a 10-minute break. Let me check this out, and we'll come back. I need 200 thumbs up. 200. Put it on 200. So, in the end, the judge denied, and this was a win for Puffy. The judge sided with Puffy and the defense that this note and that line will not be admissible. I'm denying it. Integrity never went out of style. So what we found out is that, remember I shared with y'all earlier that Jane Doe, her whole mentality, her whole attitude changes after Cassie files a lawsuit. Jane Doe starts 2 fights with Puff. She takes Puffy's head and slams it. She told 3 versions. She slams it into the counter, she pushed it into the counter, and she moved it toward the counter, whatever. She threw a champagne glass at him. She threw two champagne glasses at him. They break. She threw 2 candles at him. He gets the candle wax on him. She punched Puffy in the face. Bam! Now she say, Puffy, kick her in the back of her leg, knock her down, put her in a chokehold. This is after the Cassie lawsuit. Drag her by her hair. They stop fighting. They make up. They have sex. They make love. A day or 2 goes by, or some time go by. They get into another fight. Jane Doe starts another fight. She's describing this fight. She's in the shower. She puts on a dress. She's got on a dress, but she changes from that dress into another dress. But Tenny Garego says, well, you had high heels on. Why you didn't change your, you switched from one dress to the other dress and kept your high heels on? She raised that point. Then Puffy's lawyer, Tenny Garego, says, well, while y'all fighting, who cleaned up the broken glass? She said, me. So, like, catching her in lies that how y'all fighting and there's broken glass all over the floor. You understand? And you got high heels on. You fighting in here. So, then it came out that on June the 1st, today is June the 12th, 11 days ago, 5 days before she was set to testify and take the stand, she met with federal prosecutors and changed her story. She changed her story again. So, let me say this. From what I heard, the prosecution, they ain't got nothing. Right? What they, how you doing? You left early? They're still going. You left?
Yeah.
Why you leave?
I have to go.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. In law, compelled testimony is inadmissible in court. And let me give you an example of compelled testimony. And this is why I say this. If a person is an alcoholic or a drug addict, let's say, for instance, hypothetically speaking, a person is a heroin addict and You take them and you lock them up. Or a person is an alcoholic and you take them and you lock them up. And the heroin addict begins to go through withdrawals and begins to Jones and fiend for heroin. In a court of law, and while that heroin addict is in the state of withdrawals and Joneses and fiending for heroin, anything that heroin addict says is considered compelled testimony and is inadmissible in court, because the motive for that heroin addict to say anything to put himself in a position where he can get to his drugs and, sorry about that, Joe, and satisfy his Jones is inadmissible in court. That's called compelled testimony. In that case, something like that happened in another case I was following.
Interested.
You can't believe nothing that heroin addict is going to say, because they're going to say whatever they need to say to get free so they could go and get their fix. Right? And the fact that they're in pain and suffering withdrawals, their testimony is not voluntary, it's compelled. Now, every witness for the prosecution has had the motive to lie. All of them, or several of them, have been subpoenaed and given immunity from prosecution if they testify for the government, for the prosecution against Puff. And where they are compelled to testify along the line of the prosecution is either they have financial incentive, Dawn Rashad, 6.45 million, Mia, 10 million, Brianna Bongelin, 10 million, right? And Jane Doe and Donaldson brought this up while him and Miss Comey were arguing, saying, yeah, Jane Doe ain't filed no, because Maureen Comey says, well, Jane Doe ain't filed no lawsuit against Puff. So she has no motive to lie after the Cassie lawsuit. But Puffy's lawyer jumped up and said, she ain't filed no lawsuit yet. She ain't filed one yet. See, what Jane Doe is doing, she's trying to play both sides of the fence, right? First, she was on Puffy's team as a defense witness. Then she switched over and she became a prosecution witness. And she ain't filed no lawsuit because she's sitting back waiting to see if Puffy gets convicted. In the RICO, there's an asset forfeiture clause. If Puffy is convicted and once he exhausts his appeals and the Southern District of New York goes after all of his assets, and he's going to be doing 20 or 30 years, Jane Doe, I bet you $10 against a bucket of doo-doo. At that point, she is going to file a civil claim against Puffy if he's found guilty and exhausts all of his appeals. if Puffy beats the case, she gonna sit back and be able to tell Puff, baby, they made me testify against you. But at least I didn't file no civil suit against you like Cassie, like Mia, like Brianna, like Dawn Rashard. So she could try to get back in Puff's good graces. So Jane Doe is sitting back chilling, seeing which way this joint is gonna go. You understand? Every witness, every single witness, I think except George Kaplan, Dawn Rashard told 13 lies. Capricorn Clark told 3 that I found from the testimony I read on Inner City Press. I still got to read the transcript. Kid Cudi told some lies. Mia told lies. Cassie lied. Jane Doe done lied. Brianna lied. Every witness the government, the prosecution has presented.
Interesting. All right. Let's catch up with the tweets here, people. Okay. The question the question just above was made by Garagos, okay? Says the only time that nothing sexual happened between you and Anton was January 2024, right? That's when they saw each other at someone else's Freakoff. She says, right. Garagos says, did Anton drive his car into your compound? She says, yes. You let him in? Yes, as I was requested. Do you lift heavy weights? She says, yes, but a woman's power wouldn't override a man. Garagos said, did you hit Sean's head against the counter? Yes. You ever see the internet content of video? Yes. Did you refer to Miss or Mr. Cabral to another rapper in 2024? Yes. You were asked if you could give up money to not have sex with these men. You would, but why wouldn't you just give up your home? My child and I live there. It's hard. Ooh. Remember, she said, I would give up money to not have sex with other men. They said, well, why didn't you just give up your home? So my child and I live there. It was hard. You get $5,000 a month in child support, right? Yes. Your child's father is a very rich man, right? Yes. Didn't Mr. Combs over 3 years wire you $150,000, right? She said, is that all of 3? Is that all my 3 years of worth? Is that all my 3 years of worth? That's what she says. Garagos says, you believe you're worth more than $150,000, right? Jane says, does he? Yes, speaking of Diddy. What's the most you made in a month on OnlyFans? $50,000, but it varies. You said that you were hungry to indicate you didn't want to have sex, right? Yeah. Didn't Mr. Combs give you food? He knew what I meant. But did he give you food? Yes. Did you tell Cabral that sex with him had been great? Yes, but did you get Mr. Combs a mobile TV to show videos of you having sex with entertainers? Jane says, yeah, so I wouldn't have to have sex with other men. Garagos says, sometimes you just watch the videos. No sex with other men, right? She says, all of it was shit. Wow. Says, sometimes you just watch videos of sex and you didn't have sex with other men. She's even saying now, all of that was garbage. So could you answer the question? The judge says, so did you? The judge says, could you answer the question? She says, yes. What did you see preparing for this? My truth. Okay.
Has given compelled testimony, meaning that they have been threatened with prosecution, and if you don't testify for us, we are going to do this to you. David James told some lies. And even if they haven't been under the threat of prosecution by the government, the very fact that the federal government comes knocking on your door instills fear enough in a person to make them put allegiance toward the prosecution because they fear something going wrong and fear having the wrath of the government come down on them. So everything they say, especially if they've been subpoenaed and given immunity, is going to be along the lines of what's in the indictment. Everything Dawn Rashad said was in line with the indictment. Everything Mia said, Cassie said, Brianna said, David James, Kid Cudi, Capricorn Clark, they all talked about kidnapping, arson, sex trafficking, drug distribution. The government, the prosecutors have been very careful in making sure that they bring this out while they're direct examining each of these witnesses and steering them and guiding them to fit the narrative of the indictment against Puff. Jane Doe.
Okay, we're pretty much getting the last few tweets here. Gargo said, did you see records of times that you didn't have a hotel night? She says, wow, lucky me. She's being really sassy now. But there was such times, right? She says, thank God. She's over it, chat. She's over it. She want to get off the stand. She wants to get off the stand.
Yo, all of her text messages before the feds go knock on her door, and it is my belief that the feds went to see her before Cassie filed her lawsuit. Because on October 26, 2023,
breaking news, chat. 50 has confirmed it for us. Holy. You know how 50 is. 50 is posted just now. Ye and Bianca reportedly arrived at Diddy's trial this morning, but were denied access to the courthouse. Look what Diddy said. Look what 50 said. That's why he was supporting Diddy. His ass was out in Vegas with that little dirtbag. LOL. 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 So the dirtbag in this scenario is 50's baby mom. 50's baby mom, who was Diddy's concubine and sex worker, allegedly, was out in Vegas with another icon and their girlfriend slash wife. Girlfriend slash wife. 50 leaves no room for speculation. 50 leaves no room for speculation. He says it's yay. He says it's yay. Let me go back to my interview with him.
I related to Puff, and then they pulled out a video with him and Cassie from 10 years ago. And then it made everybody be like, oh, you know, well, Puff's a woman beater, so he's the devil. He needs to be in jail, right? Meanwhile, I don't know somebody who hasn't gotten to an altercation with a girl at one point, and including Cardi. So now Cardi's like at the number one guy at Rolling Loud, and Puff is in jail. I related to Puff, and then they pulled.
I see. Let's go back to that call. Let's go back to that call. Y'all remember the call?
And when I get real from the front line, you know what I'm saying? It's wicked, wicked, wicked. So you be careful.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing. And they, you know what I'm saying? I need you out there, you feel me?
Yeah. I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, have some fucking fun. We're not having no fun. And then get behind the mic, have some fun, chop up them samples, get back on your hitman vibe.
Yeah.
Have some fun, get back to smiling.
Yeah.
These other motherfuckers, they'll waste your time, big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Waste your
understand.
motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? So put that love in your heart, man, and enjoy yourself, man. When I get out there, man, I'm gonna see you tear down the stadiums. I need to see you back on that stage and actually rapping and performing and everything. I be dreaming of that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time. It's time for me to just grab the mic and get back on. It's like I love music again. It was a time when it's just like everything was so frustrating. I can't explain it, but
Jump into your bag, man. Jump into your bag. We're gonna have years and decades to fight these motherfuckers. Right now, enjoy your life. This is coming from me, from God to you.
Right.
Enjoy your life. Fall back in love, like when you was making the beats in the Shy and coming up to Daddy's house and motherfucking rock studio and just chop them shits up during that SP 1200 out, nigga, the MPC. Nigga, and have a good time and say the world and all the bullshit, man.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. So I love you, man. I appreciate you. And thanks again. And you know, I'm gonna see you soon, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be. You gonna definitely beat this shit. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's it.
That's it, and that's all, baby. But I'm gonna make sure I call you back or something. It'd be good to hear your voice again.
Yeah.
Like 59 more days before trial, so I'll definitely be touching in to tap into your energy or something.
Yeah.
Play me some shit over the phone, give me some fucking life. This is fucking sad. I put Daddy in jail. This shit is fucking sad as a motherfucker.
It's insane.
The devil is a liar. Word up, big.
Coming out though.
Yeah, man, but I love you once again, man. I'm gonna let y'all go and get back to some fun, man. I don't wanna bring your vibration down.
Never.
Keep it in a high frequency, man. And you keep doing everything you're doing, man. You got that freedom. And when I get out and I get that freedom, whew,
Right.
I am not caring about nothing but motherfucking being happy. And I want you to feel that.
Yeah.
I want y'all to have that for yourselves, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. That's it.
I know now.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for just taking care of my kids, man. Because ain't nobody reach out to them. Ain't nobody call them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying? And that meant so much. You know what I'm saying? That you reached out to them and took them under your wing while I'm in this one. Man, and I appreciate you. Word up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, man. It's like you raised me even when I didn't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel the love, yeah, for real. I feel the love, for real. It means so much to me. This right here is crazy. You be careful out there because they definitely trying to end us, you feel me?
Yeah.
They can't do it. They can't do it and they ain't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to beat this shit and get next to you.
Yeah.
We gonna raise our families and become the kings that we supposed to be, you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But words can't explain how much it means to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like being left for dead, and only one person coming to do anything to get you. And that's the level of appreciation that I have to you. But just like taking care of my son, that's some like next up big brother shit, B. You know what I'm saying? You ain't have to do that. It was taking my son and like, damn, becoming a big brother father figure to him means a lot, you know?
Man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, they don't deal with no parent and shit, man. These people trying to rock me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the way you are as a father, man, it's just like I look up to the relationship that y'all got. You know, I just always love the way the connection y'all had, or the connection you got.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you helping to give them the love that they need. Just like it just means so much, bro. For real. When I see it in your face, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be able to hug you and thank you and show you for the rest of your life how much you appreciate it and always be there for you.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you. But I just feel like as a community, like we got to take the responsibility to, you know, just for us, just all us. It's like we a family. Everybody has been taken in by this fame, media, music, everything. Yo, Doug.
Yeah, I thought we was all family, man. I really thought that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you're the only family I got. You're the only family I see. You feel me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought we was all family, man.
I thought we were all family.
I really thought that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you're the only family I got. You know?
Right now, you're the only family I got.
Family I see. You feel me?
Yeah.
I done always spoke up for everybody, you know. And, you know, I ain't bitter or nothing. I'm just telling you how it is because you're the only one, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're the only one that came to get me, that's all I can do is say, like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time everybody try to attack us, I'm always riding. And you're the only person that spoke up, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just felt that energy. It's like something was channeling through me. You know how it be when I like get in that mode and it's like, you gotta do it.
Yeah. You jumped into your bag, and thanks for the short job look too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely, we gotta keep that going. When I got my website, it's ready. They gave it back to me actually.
Wow. Yay, Digital Nas, Diddy. I know what he said on my shit. Did he ever say anything when he was streaming Digital Nas about Diddy?
No. This nigga gonna tell me, oh, Kashanet had niggas in the prison. I said, Jews been had niggas in prison. No, listen.
Yeah. And when you say you wasn't invited to these parties, obviously Cat Williams done talked about these parties. People will mention
I don't know if it's a party. I'm saying that metaphorically. You know what I'm saying?
But you've heard about the parties that everyone is talking about. But you've never got invited to them. So you
I don't know.
really,
I don't know. I don't even know what the party. That's how far out of it I am. I don't know. But people call me a Illuminati too. It's like, call me what? Okay, cool. I'm Illuminati. Whatever it is. It's like, whatever the fuck. I don't care. I really don't give a. I really don't give a fuck.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck.
The J. Cole stuff. The funny thing, I always say this story. When I would meet with Drake, I would just tell him, like, why are you working with J. Cole, bro? It's not even a human, like an actual person, bro. It's like, what are you talking about? People say they like, I don't know if y'all like J. Cole raps, or if y'all do not tell me that, because I don't want to like look at you differently and shit, but it's like, I hate J. Cole. It can't even be called music. I hate J. Cole, what he does, bro. I hate the people that sign J. Cole, you know? And like, I'm like, yo, you can't be pushing this to people. And it was something about both like J. Cole and Kendrick that their music sort of like, it reminds me of each other and shit like that. Like, it's just not that sauce to me like that. It's like, Baby Keem is that like, yo, the fuck is like the best, you know, human on the planet. This shit this saying is so ill. Like when we were like finding people on Donda, and I'm not gonna act like I didn't ask Drake to be on Donda and Kendrick to be on Donda and like the biggest rappers. Yeah, absolutely, and Donda too. He was, but
this one. Yes, but then he, not recently, but I was supposed to go, when he was doing the up-tempo album, I was supposed to go work on that. And it always be a thing. But my thought is like, look, right now, after all this, like, and I understand, I guess people consider Kendrick real. I saw this shit with Ben Affleck.
Let's go to Diddy.
Like, whatever it is, it'd be like that competition for Diddy, but then I said this shit is gonna have whatever Gucci has them now shit, like the head of Balenciaga and shit.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy? We need to ban J. Cole.
Who was on the beginning of the SoundCloud? Which that voice? Was that Sean Leon?
Yes.
Yeah, you know why we got banned J. Cole? You can't start a war, run. They left Drake for dead. Nobody stood up for Drake. You stood up for Drake. I'll give you that.
Later, and then I stood up for Diddy, but then I said the shit.
But the only thing wrong about Diddy is, I gotta be honest, free that.
Watch his face. Oh shit, my bad.
Bro.
I'm pretty sure this too.
They really like say whatever like say and
run. They left Drake for dead. Nobody stood up for Drake. You stood up for Drake. I'll give you that.
Later, and then I stood up for Diddy, but then I said the shit.
But the only thing wrong about Diddy is, I gotta be honest, free that man because you don't talk about bad about nothing or somebody in jail. 60 sexual assaults. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
Look at Ye's face.
Like, free the man. Nobody should be behind jail. Right now, we need to get Dirk out. We need to get Dirk out on that murder file.
Yeah, I think my issue really is like just America. I be opposed to the fact that they can have so much information on you. It's not a matter if you should be free, be in jail. It's like now these people use this information on you. Like when a person came to me and said, yo, the situation with your cousin, you need to bring it to your grave with you. I'm not gonna have one person that's like, oh, he's my best friend and he has his information on me. So with Diddy, he's got 60 accounts. How many people was next to him?
Let's cut the tweets for a minute. Chat, nothing gonna happen, bro. Just chill out. All right, Garrigo says, how did you feel seeing what Sean wrote to Paul? How did it make you feel? Jane said, how would it make you feel? Why is she being so sassy, chat? How would it make you feel if you seen what Sean wrote to Paul? Garrigo says, could you please answer my question? Jane says, now that I've seen Sean's message to Paul, probably I did have a hotel night that night. So are you changing your testimony? It seems like she is. Garrigo says, no further questions. The judge said, do you want to do a redirect? Comey says yes. It said, what violence has Sean done to you before he asked you to pick up Anton? Objection, overruled. He slapped me. Garrigo's, not Garrigo's, that's AUSA. No further questions. The judge, so it looks like AUSA says no further questions. And they ask Garrigo's, do you want to ask something else? No further questions. The judge says, thank you, Jane. Juror, you may leave. We need rulings on Miss Sankar's summary charts. I have a letter from yesterday. The messages are within the scope of each employee or agent's authority. This is a chat between the defendant, KK Fahim, and Robin, his accountant. We'll redact the first message about a purchase of a Maybach truck. The judge says in the back, if people want to leave, they must before we start. If you're here now, you got to stay till we done. So they're given a chance. The jury leaves. They say, if y'all want to leave, because we're just only dealing with court issues, leave now, because we about to get into some shit. The judge says, could we short this exhibit, cut out the flowers? AUSA says flowers meaning marijuana. Driscoll says that's the first time we heard that. AUSA says there's an item about Guido. He was a drug dealer. There's other 49 pages of chat in evidence. Judge says, who's going to testify about the flowers, meaning marijuana? AUSA said, we got two witnesses. The judge says, what about 5118? D-Rock, Fahim, the defendant, they count $1 million by hand. Driscoll says, it's not clear how relevant this is to this case. The exhibits talks about cash in a safe. It's prejudicial. Diddy's rich. He got bad money. Why would you try to use his cash to act like it's prejudicial because people might be like he's using the cash for drug purchases and to pay escorts when he's just a millionaire. AUSA says Derek Ferguson spoke of millions. The next exhibit is a ledger. It shows drugs, romantic partners. Driscoll says it's not authenticated. Judge says this exhibit, the objection is sustained. Diddy gets the win. If foundation is laid, I'll hear it another time. Driscoll says the next exhibit is about an alleged victim who's not testifying. They just want to portray the defendant as a bad person. AUSA says Gina is a romantic partner. What I tell y'all, chat? Gina is a bottom bitch. She's on a temporary vacation, not tuning into none of this, but she won't take the stand against Diddy. Diddy, when you get out, if you get out of this, Gina needs a baby in 9 months or less. You got a nut in her. You got to give her the baby. She was there before Daphne, before Young Miami. She was there when Cassie was there. All these bitches turned on you. Gina went ghost. She did do an interview with Tasha K, but she apologized. When the feds came calling, she disappeared. You got to give her the baby. All she wants is a baby. Chat, all these bitches want is a baby. Give her the baby. You already had one 2 years ago, baby love. Gina has dipped. AUSA, although Gina won't be testifying, George Kaplan testified about violence against her. Gina is victim 3. Let's go over it, chat. Victim 1, Cassie. Victim 2, Daphne Joy. Victim 3, Gina here. She's dipped. She's out of here. By the way, we know Diddy's still cool with her because the defense told the court, Gina not showing up. Just to let y'all know, y'all can't find Gina. She's not showing up. The prosecutors are in a bind. It would be unprecedented to put out a subpoena and a warrant for the arrest of somebody that could be a victim. So they got to take that L. Did they meet with her? Probably. She probably went in there just like Daphne with the lawyer paid for by Diddy. They got the info from the questions being asked. They fed it to Diddy. And then Diddy said, thank you, Gina. You my bitch for life. Get ghost. Go on vacation. Take this 40 bands a month. I'm going to be good. When I come out on the other side, me and you, we locked in. Fuck these hoes. Fuck these hoes. Daphne, Diddy ain't her only meal ticket. Ain't nobody want no fucking Gina. Only Diddy want her. Daphne, her baby daddy is 50. She said she wanted a Saudi prince. She wasn't about to do that type of game. That's what I think Diddy's game plan was. Hey, listen, y'all my bitches right now. Fuck Cassie. Bitch is broke. Young Miami, a rich bitch. She not going to get on stand against me. Y'all my other bitches. Check this out. If y'all get through this, I'm going to lock in with y'all on a different level. Everything, like I'm going to give y'all a lot more than I ever gave y'all. But I need y'all to hold it down. Y'all got to hold it down. Daphne said, fuck this shit. I'm snitching on you. Gina said, this is the only show in town for me. Gina has disappeared. The AUSA, this is after week 2. Week 2. What week we in right now? 5? Week 2, Diddy's lawyer said, Gina will not be showing up. Just to let you know. She won't be showing up. She won't be showing up. We even talked to her. They can't find her. She won't be showing up. It's only now the AUSA saying, yeah, Gina will not be testifying. They have given up. George, so now, AUSA says, I apologize, but the judge cuts her off. Shut up. I'm talking. Judge's on timing. And Nifilo said, can we have a bathroom break? He's led into the holding cell. AUSA says, if we can't resolve the chart, Ms. Sankar could testify Monday. KK's in these charts. Chat. Let me tell you who's gonna get. Yo, I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad. Let me tell you this. KK. She was a secret key to sink Diddy. Remember, they're wrapping up this shit. It's gonna end in 3 days. 3 or 4 days. Friday tomorrow, right? Today's Thursday, right? Yep. Friday tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, and they said either Wednesday, Thursday's Juneteenth, or Friday. The government is done with their case. Let's think about who didn't flip on Diddy. There's no mention of D-Rock. D-Rock. Diddy's going to fund your security company. That's a fact. You a real nigga. He going to fund your security company. Roger Bonds, you better get your money from Vlad because you've been saying all type of shit. He don't fuck with you. D-Rock, you good money. Diddy got you for life. He just got to make it up going out of this. D-Rock, you got this for life. Uncle Paulie, you got this for life. KK, Diddy should give you a part of all of his existing companies because you had the key to the castle, and when it was most convenient for her to save her own ass, she got a lawyer. She got a lawyer that only spoke with Diddy, and she never ever switched on that nigga. That's a fact. KK, you're gonna get part. If Diddy got $1 billion, you got $100 million. That's a fact. 10% at least. Got to. Let's keep it going. Gina, you gotta get a baby. You get a baby. You knew I was only fucking these other bitches because I'm just a man that just can't deal with one pussy. You know what it is. I never abused all these bitches. They was down with it, just like you were. Except they weren't as loyal and patient like you were. But now that you did this for me and I get out of federal jail, you get what you want. Maybach trucks, fuck a Van Cleef. You get everything. You get the mansion. I'm going to give you a kid. It got to happen. Diddy, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, Diddy. These are the people who held you down. We expected to see a lot more. Cassie, the only person, then the person, Daphne, who we didn't know really what it was, she told us a lot. But everybody we heard wasn't involved. So KK got to get 10%. 10% of the whole shit. Combs Enterprise, 10%. Gina, baby, millions. Give her the house. You got to give her a nice mansion. Got to give her a nice mansion. You got to also start writing some captions about her on Instagram. Baby, I love you. I love you. I don't know why I ignored you for years, but I love you. I should have knew you was the only real bitch on my roster. When I got another bitch, and another bitch, you never left me. I love you. He got to do it for her. Who else? Daphne. Cancel that bitch. She done. Daphne is one of those, it's beef time. She playing the 50. She playing both sides. She riding the fence. Well, I ain't really snitch on you. I only did it because they said they gave me a subpoena and I have a son, so I had to testify. I couldn't. Fuck out of here. You ain't do no good for Diddy. Fuck out of here. Get out of here. Young Miami. You deserve a check too. You got to get a check. Young Miami, you get a big check. Because you the chick. Yes, you didn't get involved in the process. But to make this all made sense, they needed you to be in the process. Most of the women have said the treatment you got made them feel away. Made them feel away. You got nothing to say. You did an interview with your little gay silverback gorilla looking bestie and you said, nah, I had a good time with him. He treated me good. We did good business. I loved him. I helped him out in a good place in his life. Nothing bad. You a real one, Young Miami. He ain't gonna forget you. Maybe another Maybach. He don't got no more liquor deal, but he got you. He got you. Who else, chat? Who else didn't flip on Diddy? All the assistants flipped. All the assistants, they all flipped. The security guards, This time for y'all to build y'all security company. Diddy gonna invest. KK, 10%. Gina, baby. Young Miami, 2 more Maybachs. You good. We're heading to the end. And I'm going to be honest with you. Cassie was a star witness, but we expected to see a lot more. Okay? Victim 3, which was Gina, can't be found. So Gina won't be testifying. George Kaplan identified him. So basically, George Kaplan's testimony is garbage because the person that he was testifying about, they won't show up. They won't say, hey, I was beaten by him. George Kaplan testified that at 2 Star Island, he's seen Diddy throw something as at victim 3. Throw something at her. We could Google it. Okay, we're not about to see it. He said he saw Diddy throw something at victim 3 at 2 Star Island. She's not showing up to say nobody threw nothing at her. Real bitch. I'm not saying abuse is cool. I'm just saying at this point, I think a lot of this is about money. Dawn Richard, it's clear that she showed up because she feels she's owed money in a professional level. So if I can't get it from you easily in a professional level, I'll testify how horrible of a person you are in a criminal case. And hopefully that'll help my professional level civil suit. It didn't work out too good for her. The judge said we're still talking. Agnifilo says, can we have a bathroom break? We can't resolve the chart. Ms. Sankar could testify on Monday. KK's in the charts. Shapiro says until 8:30 for the letter on the juror. Judge says adjourned. We're going to come back tomorrow based on this case. Wow. Chat. The people who I've said won't testify, I don't expect the defense to bring them up. Why? The prosecutor wanted them as a witness. Let me speak openly. Y'all might not like it. I think Quan in Tory's case was always available, but he was a defense witness. The strategy here is it's burden upon the state or the feds to prove their case, even if you have a witness, unless that witness is already being elicited by the government. Why bring them up that the government could have a try at them? Why put them on a stand now the government could threaten them to say, now we got you on a stand. You lie, we're going to put you in jail. So all you do, just don't put them on a stand. So D-Rock, absent. KK, absent. Gina, absent. You might say, well, why not put them up there that they could back Diddy up? It's the same reason why you don't want Diddy up there. It's not that Diddy can't get up there to say all these bitches wanted it. I used to ask them 15 times, you sure you want to do this? They said, yes, we did it. It's not about that. It's about the cross-examine. The AUSA is coming and saying, all right, you know you're under penalty of perjury, right? So you claim this, that, and third, and this, that, and third. You know we subpoenaed your iPhone records, right? Did you ever text him with a picture of a bruise? Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay. Let's keep it going for a second.
September.
Here we go.
Puffy's defense team. And let me say this. Every time that Jane Doe got with Puffy after Cassie's lawsuit and after she began meeting with them, best believe that the feds were tapping the phones, reading the text messages, and meeting with her on a regular basis and telling her what to do, what to say, and monitoring that whole situation. 100%. I have no proof of this, but only my own case. That they probably were encouraging her to start fights with him, right? So that she could receive physical bruises that she could take pictures of and they can have as evidence to corroborate what Cassie said, right? And that came out afternoon. So in June of 2024, Puffy flew to Los Angeles and he went on a road trip with his kids. Now, after Puff, check this out. Check this out. I can't make this up. Check this out. I can't make this up. Puffy flies to LA. He goes on a road trip with his kids. This is their very first physical altercation between Jane Doe and Puffy. June 2024. Now out of her mouth comes, Puffy assaulted me after the Cassie lawsuit, after she meeting with the feds, after she meeting with Puffy's defense team. She don't know what side to be on. While they're fighting, she calls Puffy a pedophile, a monster, disgusting. I hate you. The very first fight, Jane Doe started the fight with Puffy. They've been together 3 years. Puffy ain't put his hands on her not one time. What's up, man? They've been together 3 years. Puffy ain't put his hands on her not one time. Now, Cassie dropped her lawsuit. She meeting with the feds. She jump out there, bang, bang, starts a fight with Puff, Jane Doe. She calls him a pedophile, a monster. I hate you, you disgusting. She threw a glass at him. And her reason for the fight, she says Puffy's chasing her. She goes and locks herself in the bedroom. Puffy kicks in the door, boom! Showing violence, right? And Puffy's asking her, yo, you not gonna talk to me? This is what she's saying. She runs out of the bedroom. She runs into the bathroom. This is what she says, Jane Doe. Locks the door. Boom! Puffy kicks that door open. Just leave. I hate you. Leave me alone. Puffy saying, you crazy. She runs out of the bathroom. She runs into the closet. Locks the door. Puffy, boom. Puffy kicking all these doors in. He's showing all this violence. This is her testimony. Then she said she took off her heels and ran out of the house for 10 minutes, sprinted. She sprinted out of the house. She sprinted for 10 minutes straight. This is what she said. Goddamn, an international gold medal winning track star can't sprint for 10 minutes. She said she sprinted for 10 minutes and then she hid behind a wall for 2 hours. This is what Jane Doe testified to. Five days later, she takes a picture and she's got discoloration to her eye, but ain't nothing wrong with her neck. She came home, Puffy was outside, they went back into the house together. She called Puffy a pedophile. You a monster, I hate you. Listen at how she talking now after the Cassie lawsuit.
Sincere Poppy, I see you say, yo, the Nobu is closed for both nights that Kendrick is there. If you don't believe, go make a reservation. Let's do it. Nobu, Toronto, reservations. We're going to make a reservation. Okay. Book your table. We're booking the table. Got to book a table, gang. Not tonight. Let's book it for tomorrow night. We got to have 5 guests. I think we would like to do it 5:45. Oh, it's available. Look. You niggas is lying like hell, man. Like, you niggas just be bullshitting. It look like it's available, bro. Don't lie on Dot now. Oh, I gotta do all this? Fuck. All right.
Puffy punched me in the back of my head. Puffy punched me in my eye. Puffy punched me in my forehead. I went into the backyard. Puffy was kicking and punching me, saying to me, "You trying to make me not see my 7 kids?" Puffy dragged her in the house by her hair. Jane Doe testified on the stand under oath. She got Puffy's phone and called the girl who she thought went on the road trip.
So, we just got an update. Looked like the Kai Cenat. So Kai Cenat was supposed to stream with Drake tonight. If you're wondering why, Kai is going to be executive producing the "We in Miami turning up another night" that video, "Somebody Who Loves Me," from Some Sexy Songs for You. Kai is the executive producer. Drake announced this probably a month or 2 ago. Kai just announced 30 minutes ago, we need more time with the treatments for Somebody Who Loves Me. So we're pushing the stream back a few more days. We're pushing it back. Okay? It's a little pushback. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? That's my song. Really, I ain't want to tell y'all this, but Drake know that's my favorite song. He got to tap in with the big homie. That's me. He got to tap in with the big homie. to at least hear what I want to see, because he knows that's my favorite joint. Now, I ain't say that's why he pushed it back, but he know he got to tap in with the big homie. He said that. Come on now. Stop playing with me. So, it looked like Kai and Drake made a decision. Tonight ain't the best night to do the Somebody Who Loves Me submission review. Okay? It's coming soon. Soon come. Soon come. Soon come. Pause. Back to this.
With Puffy and his kids, it was either Young Miami or it was either another girl named Jessie or somebody, I don't know. So she said she called the girl picked up the phone, but Jane Doe, Tenny Garrigo said, well, who was the girl you called? She don't say. Jane Doe, she says she picked up the phone and called the girl. Well, Tenny said, which girl did you call? She didn't tell. She didn't say. She said the girl asked her, why are you calling me from Puffy's phone? Jane Doe is asking her, did you go on the trip with Puffy and his kids? The girl, either Young Miami or this other girl,
it's not Young Miami,
said, girl, what you talking about? You worried about the wrong thing. Jane Doe said, Puffy grabbed the phone, hung it up. He called Jane Doe a bitch. And Puffy and Jane Doe start trading insults. The girl called Puffy's phone back. Jane Doe said somehow she got the phone, and the girl on the line said, you want to make this a beef for no reason? Jane Doe calls Puffy a pedophile, son of a bitch, fraud, and a bitch. Jane Doe said Puffy slapped her 3 times. Bow, bow, bow. Then Puffy say to her, we never fought like this before, and now the lawsuit comes and you want to attack me. Then she say Puffy took her phone. This shit is crazy. You hear this story, man? Puffy took her phone and started texting Antoine about the rapper in Las Vegas. Antoine comes over to her house. They make small talk, and her and Puffy invite Antoine into the bedroom. She tells Puffy about the Vegas trip. Puffy is mad. Puffy says to her, how could you go to another man's freak-off? Puffy was crazed mad. Then Puffy told me to go out there and fuck him. And Puffy said, is this coercion? Jane Doe said, yes. Jane Doe says, I performed oral sex on Antoine.
Let me go take a piss.
And I sent Antoine some money later. Tenny Garrigo said, well, y'all doing all this with Antoine. Who cleaned up the broken glass? At this point, Jane Doe's body language is tight, and before, when her answers had a lot of detail, she was always eager to give detail with her answers. But now, when Tenny Garrigos is questioning her about events after the Cassie lawsuit, and after she meets with federal prosecutors, and after she's been granted immunity from prosecution by the federal government, now all her answers, they ain't got no detail. It's like this: yes, no, yes, Now, after all this fighting, a couple days go by. Jane Doe and Puff, we missed each other over the next few days. I went to his house in Bel Air. Puffy wanted to break up. I spent 2 nights with Puff with no entertainer. We both took drugs and we had sex. Then she says Puffy later goes to Wyoming with another woman, and now she want to break up with Puff. I can't make this up, man. I can't make this up. How y'all doing? You guys tourists? Where y'all from? Where y'all from?
Germany.
From Germany?
What's going on today?
I don't know. They were supposed to have a protest here for ICE. Y'all from Germany? You want to say hi to my people? I'm live on YouTube. Come here.
Yeah, you want to go to the Brooklyn Bridge now.
Come on. Check them out, y'all. They from Germany. Come here. What's your name?
Alex.
This is Alex. What part of Germany?
Bavaria.
Bavaria?
Yes.
Where they make BMW?
Yes.
Bavaria, Germany, Bavaria Motor Works with BMW. Y'all, come on. Your first time in New York?
Do your broadcast?
I'm doing my YouTube broadcast. First time in New York?
Yes.
Unc, Dr. Umar, 1,000 lashes. Unc, don't do it. Oh, never mind. All right, hold on. All right, Unc, you get this one. All right, it's a double date. It's a double date, y'all chat. She over 18, right? Over 21, really? She over 21? Unc, you get shorty, I get shorty. Come on. This is a double date type of thing. You get me? If she over 21, I'm with her. Me and Unc, double date. Shaq and Kobe. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Dr. Umar wouldn't approve. He wouldn't approve.
First time?
First time in New York. What's up, man? First time in...
He in the cuck chair back here.
What's your name? This is Stefan, right? You from Germany too?
Yes.
All right.
My husband.
There's another one over there. She don't want to. You want to come here? Come on. Germany in the house, y'all. Check them out. Welcome to New York. Y'all have a good time.
Yes, we do.
Be
Very
safe.
good
Be safe.
time. Okay.
On YouTube, the podcast was sold on YouTube.
Okay.
The podcast was sold. You're gonna be able to go on there and see yourself on there.
Okay.
All right?
See
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. The prosecution.
Chad, should we go on a double date? Me and Unc, a little 2-man still, you know? Me and Unc, we going to 2-mans. We gonna get Unc a cougar, and we gonna get me a little, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Prosecution, every witness that the prosecution has presented has outright lied under oath, misrepresented facts under oath, been granted immunity from prosecution, and has given compelled testimony under oath with the threat of the loss of freedom hanging over their heads, and they get on the stand and say what the government needs them to say to fall in line with the indictment. Now, check this out. Check Sean G out.
Go ahead, Unc.
If you read the indictment,
we read it.
The United States of America versus Sean Combs.
Talk about it.
There's a special clause in there that talks about minors and underage people, right? A special assignment, special violation is something. It's in the indictment. I read the indictment.
Ooh, Logic is live.
Get it. I should take this down though.
Oh, you talking about Trump and Newsom? Never mind.
So far, no other witness has said anything about Puffy being with underage people. Nobody has testified saying nothing about Puffy being gay. Puffy ain't no snitch. Puffy ain't no rat. Nobody ain't said nothing about that. Now, all of a sudden, after Cassie lawsuit, after Jane Doe started meeting with them people, first she down with Puff, now she down with the prosecution. After Cassie lawsuit, she meets with the federal prosecutors 24 times. Now, she is the first one to come out of her mouth calling Puffy a pedophile.
Hey, brother, what do you do? Some news fans or channel on YouTube?
I do YouTube, the podcast of Soul. You want me to interview you?
If you have a question, I can maybe respond.
What kind of question you want me to ask you?
How do you define racism?
How do I define racism?
The fuck?
Who are you? You got FBI on your shirt.
No, this is a friend.
Who are you? You got FBI on your shirt.
What's your name?
All right.
Ease.
Get him out of here.
Done went to war with other rappers. And I looked at what she said, and whether I hate him or I like him, the nigga's a boss. Can't take that from him. All we heard in this court is Puffy got a lot of women, and every dude in the world, every man in the world loves to have or would love to have, because a lot of y'all can't do it. I done did it. Every man in the world would love to have his way with a bunch of women and have sex with a bunch of women and have unlimited resources. Every nigga would want, every man wants that. Every man wants that. Every man wants that. Shelby, what's up? I see you. You want to say hi? I'm live. You want to say hi? I'll see you tomorrow. Every man wants to say they're a self-made millionaire and they got 4 and 5 honeys. And he telling the honeys straight up to their grill, yo, I'm single. I'm seeing you, I'm seeing her, I'm seeing a bunch of y'all. I'm seeing all y'all. What you want to do? You with it or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? Every dude, white dude, Spanish dude, Asian dude, Russian dude, Ukrainian dude, Jewish dude, Palestinian dude, NATO dude, foundational Black American, Latino, South, every man want to have a bunch of honeys that he can knock down whenever he ready, and his money is tall to the ceiling. He got $12. He got fly gear. He got a fly ride, a fly plane, crazy dollars, and the flyest honeys in the world that's willing to accept the fact that he's seeing 8, 9, 10 women. Every nigga want that.
Uncle's going crazy. Hey, to y'all women, man, I'm the last of the millionaires that's down with one woman. Just holler at me, okay? I'm down with one. Big Act is only down with one. It's okay. I'm the last.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They not going to admit it, but that's the truth. That's the truth. That girl, Jane Doe, he told Jane Doe from the door, yo, I'm seeing multiple women. What's up? What's up? Jane Doe said, I don't care, I'm with it. Gina knew, Cassie knew, Mia knew, because he was knocking down Mia too. He probably was hitting Capricorn Clark too. You understand?
He was.
Any of his female assistants, any female that came in Puffy's cipher, he was hitting it. Yes, he was. I bet. I don't know for sure. Jane Doe, Jesse, Chelsea, Young Miami, he knocking down everything. He knocking down everything. Everything come his way.
Yo, chat, I'm with y'all. Diddy was a dog. Ew. It's nasty. What the fuck? Why the hell would you want to have multiple women? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Ew. This guy's a dog. This guy's a piece of shit.
And the dope part about it is that them honeys wanted it. They wanted it. He didn't have to take it. They wanted to give it to him. They wanted him to have it. All that. All that. The prosecution got to cheat to beat this man. They got to cheat. That's the only way. They haven't done nothing. Everything they've done. Look at y'all telling me in the comments. Y'all telling me in the comments. This case is crazy. This ain't no RICO. This is a relationship case. All y'all saying that. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm finna get up out of here though. Bishop Dundada, what up? What's going on, man? Good? You wanna say something to the people? Sure? Let me ask y'all, is this a RICO? Is this a RICO or a domestic violence case? Put it in the live chat. Is this a RICO or domestic violence? Tyrese. Tanya V say neither one. What is it, Tanya V? Supposed to be a RICO. KC. And they got this man in federal court with an asset forfeiture clause if he's convicted